What's up, guys? It's Adam A.K. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. In just a second, we're going to talk about the August 11th emergency alert and why I believe most of you should turn off your phone. Again, it's not just me. It's people like Edward Snowden and the late McAfee that agree with me. So again, we'll talk about that in just a second, right after this. My name is Adam A.K. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Today we're talking about the August 11th emergency alert. Now, if you have never experienced one of these, there was very few done in the past. In fact, the last one was the presidential alert, or at least of this nature. Now, if you don't remember, back in 2018, I actually had one of the largest videos I've ever had, and it was completely unexpected. The reason why is I said that it may be something that is getting pushed onto the phones. I wasn't alone. In fact, after that video, a day after, in fact, not only did Snowden, but also the late McAfee reverberated my statements. In fact, we'll link that video and all of the links that we have here with all of the source information for this video at marfooglenews.com. Now, why do I think that we should turn off our phones? I'll tell you that in just a second. First, let's let the people know the official reason for this actual alert. It says the National Emergency Alert test scheduled for August 11th. There will be a national test of the Wireless Emergency Alert, or the WEA, and the Emergency Alert System on August 11th at 2:20 p.m. Eastern. It says, according to FEMA and the WEA, will only be sent to cell phones who have opted in to receive test messages. The message will also be broadcast over television and radio. This will be the second ever test of the WEA system on mobile devices and the first test of the system with the opt-in feature. The message will display in either English or Spanish, depending on the language setting of each phone that has opted in to receive the message. This test will be the sixth ever sent over television and radio. So this isn't your average weekly test of the emergency programming. This is a separate doomsday alert. This is essentially what the presidential alert was supposed to be as well. Again, when the presidential alert happened, because of who was our president, everybody had a 50-50 kind of opinion about it. But my opinion was, of course, that of the same of Edward Snowden, late McAfee, and many others in the cybersecurity world. The reason why? Possible upstream surveillance or things being pushed. Now, let me explain this. Again, here is a tweet done 24 hours after my last video. This was Edward Snowden's statement, of course, at the then presidential alert. It says the same centralized infrastructure that lets them send something to everyone enables them to read anything from anyone. Curious about how such surveillance works? Read more. And then he, of course, linked an actual justsecurity.org article about upstream surveillance. Now, again, this is actually, once you read that article, you can totally understand why he believes this. Again, this wasn't the only person who thought so. Now, of course, McAfee is back in the news now, of course, because he is now the late McAfee. He mysteriously disappeared, mysteriously ended up passing away, right? We won't debate about that today, but again, here is his tweet, which is now not available on Twitter. We couldn't find it. Again, it doesn't even go that back, or it has been scrubbed. I don't know. But again, this was somebody who was lucky enough to snap this. It says, quote, the presidential alerts, they are capable of accessing the E911 chip in your phones, giving them full access to your location, microphone, camera, and every function of your phone. This is not a rant. This is from me, still one of the leading cybersecurity experts. Wake up, people. Again, you can say whatever you want about McAfee, but this man had top security clearance for a long time. In fact, he was one of the founders of course, McAfee Antivirus. That's why he said that. Now, he might have been eccentric, but the guy was smart. Whatever you believe about him or Snowden, if he's a hero, of course, talking about Snowden, if he's a hero or a traitor, doesn't really matter. What does matter is that we, of course, the argument doesn't matter. But I guess the point is, my opinion is that this may be upstream surveillance. So it's up to you, and it is your choice to opt out or to opt into these things. I highly believe that this, back then, was a way to actually possibly attach things to people's phones. Of course, like upstream surveillance as far as all of the burner phones, all of the Walmart phones, and all of these phones that people that they don't have track of. Honestly, how these things work, they basically take your phone and it shuts down. There's no way to get around it unless you press OK. Now, if you press OK on a phone like this, 99% of them have a camera on the front. The E911 chip or any other the kind of backdoors they have in here could trigger a camera to take your photo, possibly even take your fingerprint, take everything. Or it could put something on your phone for later use. And they could do it all in one push. Maybe this is a kind of signal that they can't hide, and they can do it right now with this. So again, what do you think about this? Are you going to have your phone on August 11th? Also, this is coinciding with all sorts of other things. They are actually drilling in New York. In fact, it says U.S. soldiers are training in New York City for America's worst day that could see nuclear or bio attacks and ballistic threats. It says soldiers are training in America's worst day amid fears of a nuclear or biological attack and ballistic threats. The Army's Task Force 46 were coached on how to respond to an attack on New York City, including a focus on its subway system and tourist hotspots like the Yankee Stadium. Around 170 soldiers from across the country joined forces with the city's police and firefighters for a 3-day exercise on Randall's Island last week. Task Force 46, which was formed in 2013, spent their time practicing chemical decontamination and how to carry out search and rescue efforts. Now, when you compile this also on top of the FEMA exercises to contain rural neighborhoods, that's a whole nother story. This is also recent. They basically said that they are drilling to actually practice for a scenario where a rural environment, say out in the sticks, out in the country, something gets released, and how to contain that. This drill and all the others are starting to line up in a very specific manner. If you don't remember, a couple years ago, they were doing helicopter pickups. In fact, in California, they actually were wearing full contamination suits and decontaminating one of their Blackhawks. So what are they actually preparing for? Well, my guess is the most probable scenario. And again, that most probable scenario, whether it's planned or it's some sort of big plan, doesn't matter to me. I would rather know beforehand, and I would rather plan ahead. Not trying to scare anybody, but again, once you stop putting fear into all this stuff, then you're not afraid of it and you're just preparing for it, just like it's anything. Just like you prepare for a test or you prepare for your first day at work or whatever it may be. But this is a little bit more serious. So I hope people pay attention. I hope people are opening their eyes right now. Again, make sure to let me know what you are going to do August 11th. Are you going to keep your phone on? Did you opt in? Do you want this alert? Do you not want the alert? Let me know down below. If you want to support us in any way, you can go over to marfugelnews.com. If you want to protect yourself, your devices, your car, or anything else from an EMP, I highly recommend going over to EMP Shield. Again, you can go get one at a huge discount of $50 off per device at marfugelnews.com/EMP. There you'll see a ton of different devices for anything from a car all the way to your ham radio. Anything can be protected. Make sure to go check it out. marfugelnews.com/EMP. Thank you guys. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.
Feed the haters to the alligators. Your way or the highway, see you later. B.O.D. is the homie and Mr. Vader. If it wasn't for you, I would never made it. Whole city's covered by the cremated. Now they listen to what we were saying. Doesn't matter if the manufacturer or created. But now